Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to see the hands-on lab for Azure Virtual Network Peering. So in the previous video, we have seen about the Azure Virtual Network Peering. So in this demo, let's see deploying a virtual machine in one region and another virtual machine in a different region, and then we will test the connection between two different VNets. So let me go ahead and create the virtual machine. So I am creating the first virtual machine. I'm going to create the new resource group so that I can put all the resources in this resource group, and this is going to be VM1. Okay, and I'm going to choose Windows Server 2019. Let me select the size and type the user account and confirm password. Okay, and here we are going to allow the RDP port number and click on next, and leave it with the default and click on next. Under the network, we are going to create the RG1 VNet. So let me just edit this. Okay, let's leave it with the default subnet and the address space, and leave it with the default public IP. Let's click on next, advanced, review and create. Okay, so let's create this virtual machine. Okay, let's wait for the deployment to be completed, and in the meanwhile we will create the another virtual machine in the different region. Okay, I'm opening the virtual machine and click on create Azure virtual machine, and this time I'm choosing the same resource group, but this time VM2 going to be US region. Let me select East US. Your subscription doesn't support virtual machine creation in East US. Okay, let's try with a different region. Let me try selecting a different series. Okay, I'm deploying this virtual machine in East US too, and I'm going to choose same virtual machine image, which is Windows Server 2019 data center, and enter the username and the password. Okay, and click on next. So here let's leave it with the default selection, and next let's create the VNet. So here I'm going to give VNet. So this is going to be in the US region, and let's leave it with the default address range and the subnet and the public IP, and let's add it to the RDP port number. Let's review and create. Okay, let's click on create to create the second virtual machine in the East US2 region with a different VNet. And so this deployment has been completed. Let me click on go to resource. So this is the VM1-Asia which we deployed in the Southeast Asia, and this has the virtual network vnet-asia, and this also has the public IP address and the private IP address. And now we are creating the second VM in the East US2 region. Let's wait for the deployment to be completed. Meanwhile, I'm just going to launch the RDP for the VM1. Let me just download the RDP file. Okay, I'm logging into the VM1, which is in South Asia with its public IP address. And let me check the second VM, which is still in progress. Okay, so VM1 is ready. Let me open the command prompt. So here we can see the private IP address. Okay, VM2 deployment also completed. Let me open the VM2. And here this is deployed in the different virtual network and the status is running. So let me take this IP address. So this is going to be the private IP of this VM. Let me try to check the pin 10.1.0.4. As you can see, we are not able to ping this server. So next we are going to configure the peering in the VM1 so that we can establish the connection between both the server. Okay, so let me go to the overview and open this virtual network. And from here, we are going to allow the connection between both the virtual network. So under the settings, you can go to the peering and let's create the peering. So here we need to enter the peering link name. And here traffic to remote virtual network allow by default, and traffic forwarded, which is also going to be allowed. And here the remote virtual network. And for the remote virtual network, let's give US2 Asia. And let's select the virtual network. Okay, so I'm going to select the remote virtual network and it's going to allow by default and click on add. Okay, so now we have created the peering connection from this virtual network to the remote virtual network. Okay, and similarly, we need to create from the remote virtual network as well. So let me go to this virtual network and go to the peering. Okay, here also we can see that this is also created. And peering status connected. And here it is still updating. Let me refresh. Okay, this is also become. Okay, so I have configured the web server in the in this VM, which is 10.0.0.4, and let me now try to access this web page from the VM2, which is deployed in the US region. So I'm just opening the Internet Explorer. Okay, let me enter the 10.0.0.4. Okay, now we can see that this web page is coming from the VM1. Okay, so if we have not enabled the peering between these two virtual machines, then we will not be able to access it. So we need to enable the peering from both the virtual network. Okay, so that's it in this video, and I'll see you in the next.